All right. Salute to the saints. Salute to the saints. Hope y'all having a blessed day. Rock day. You know, I'm reading in the book of Samuel about the prophet Samuel. And, you know, Elkanah, Samuel's father, had 2 wives. We know the popular one, Hannah, and then he had his first wife. Well, his first wife, I believe, gave him about 2 or 3 children. And for years, Hannah couldn't give him any children. Now, that's either for a couple reasons. One, she was disobedient to her husband, so God would keep her womb closed, which also is a negative on the husband, because he's not getting any seed from his wife because she's disobedient to him. Second of all, she's just wicked. She's being sinful against the Most High, so he closes her womb. Or 3, she has some kind of sickness, ailment, disease keeping her from being pregnant. Right? Or she has a wicked husband. There's 4. She has a wicked husband who, instead of putting seed in her, holds it back, reserves it, and spills it on the ground. Which we know is not a good act. It's not a good deed. Because why would you not want to bring forth seed? Seed is what multiplies the earth. These women of today, they don't want any seed. They don't want any children. They want maybe 1 or maybe 2. Well, they're on birth control, trying not to have children, but yet they're still having sex. See, the devil wants you to do what you want to do without holding you to the accountability, showing you the accountabilities that you're going to have after making the decision. Right? If you don't want babies, don't have sex. If you can't not have sex, get married so that you can do it right. But where I was going with this story was Hannah prayed into the Most High for years for this child, and the Most High opened her womb. Finally, he opened her womb. Now, they say men that have 2 wives are wicked men. Well, we see Elkanah was a righteous man. He would always come yearly for the yearly sacrifice, which was what? Around the Day of Atonement, the yearly sacrifice. And he would bring his wives, and they would come and do obeisance, and their prayers, and their givings, their offerings, their sacrifices. He was a man in lockstep with the program, so we see there's nothing against him wicked or evil. And we see he had a wife that gave him a few children, and then bam, Hannah gave him a few children. Said Hannah, her first child was Samuel, and she said, the Most High, if you give me a son, once he's weaned, I will give him into your care, to the service of the Most High. And so, you know, the global age for breastfeeding is around 4 or 5, around 4. You know, and here in America is why it's so small, because, you know, we have 6 months, 2 months, you know, maybe a year if you got a good woman who will breastfeed your child for a year for you. Most of them won't even try. Oh, it hurts. Oh, I'm dry. But yet they won't try no remedies to try to benefit their breasts and their body in order to produce what that child needs most. You know, some of them only get that colostrum that first 48 in the first 48 hours. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. I'm not going to go too far into that. But Hannah got Samuel, and then she also bare him 3 more sons and 2 more daughters. So always be diligent in prayer, because you never know. The Most High is listening. He hears those who follow his voice. So follow his voice and see where he leads. If you ever doubt that the Most High has spoken to you, look it up in the Word. Whatever he has spoken to you, you go look in the Word and see if you can find it, or see if he done it for someone before. Because the Bible also says that he is a God that does not change. He's an Elohim that does not change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. If it was sin in the old covenant, it's still sin today. He even added and made it even that much more. He said, if a man even look at a woman with lust, he's already committed adultery in his heart. A lot of people love to use that verse, but they use it out of context. Because if a single man looks at with lust towards a single woman, there's no adultery. There's no adultery. If a married man looks at a single woman with lust that he may want her, it's not adultery. Because why? He could take her on as a second wife if he wishes, if that's what the Most High wants. It's not for every man. It's not for every woman. You know, it's for those few select that choose to move in that way. So, you know, with that, saints, I ain't gonna go too much deeper. I'm gonna leave it right there, because I know I done said a lot, and there's probably a lot you gotta go back and research and look at and verify my words, because they're not just my words, these are straight from the book. The Most High is not gonna tell you to do something contrary to his word. He's not gonna tell you to go out and do something wicked or bless something that is wicked, like these wicked rappers like Lil Wayne. You know, they get on here, they go on BET, and they thank God for their award. They thank God for their talent, for them to make it there and to be able to do X, Y, and Z. But God didn't give you the power to call women hoes, to call them bitches, to call them sluts, to call them booty calls, to call them all type of demeaning and degrading language. No. And talk about how he's going to have this one night stand with you, how he wants you to be a whore with him in the bed, and all these things. And no, the Most High didn't create sex for us to abuse and for us to pervert. No, he gave it to us to procreate, to be in union and love with that other person. Not for us to use for our own physical pleasure, to use a person and then leave them. No, because there's spiritual ties, there's soul bonds, especially between that of the woman. The woman gets hurt the most in these one night stands, in these sexual experiences with men, where it only lasts for one night. They might have a 2-night, they might have a 1 week talking, you know, but there's nothing serious. There's not no plans for marriage. There's not no plans for any of that. So you have to be careful who you lay down with, man or woman. Women use men just like men use women. Yeah, women want to have sex, a lot of them, more than men, or just as much as men. So you have to really be careful with the women you lay down with, because you could be laying down with a Jezebel. You could be laying down with a whorish woman. You could be laying down with the woman who's just after her flesh, who's just trying to get over an ex. So she's just gonna sleep with you, and then you actually like the girl and fall in love and want to be with her, and then she was just using you for that one time. She just needed something for that night, or for that weekend. She just needed some attention from a guy to spend some money on her, take her out to eat, please her body, blah, 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 on her vacation. And then, you know, she's back to trying to get with her old dude again. Or she's just being single and trying to figure out herself. She's trying to heal. She's trying to heal from her past relationship. But yet she's still out there doing the most. You have to put it on yourself, saints. You have to know, why am I in this Is it worth being in this? I spoke with a brother, gave me some really good advice, said you have to answer the hard questions for yourself when being in a relationship. Is it worth it? Do I really want it? You know, because these are the key questions that's gonna push us forward into what we do later in life. Are we gonna make the right decision, or are we gonna make the wrong decision? Are we gonna go right, or are we gonna go left? It's entirely in your hands, saints. But with all things, be in prayer. And with that, I salute you. Y'all have a blessed day. Till next time, shalom, shalom.